Good evening, darlings. I received the following anonymous request, which says, Lord Thronduil, how do you address the political and economic state of Mirkwood right now? How will you assure your subjects at these difficult times? Now, darling, there's a lot to be said for this. I know that this has sort of been lurking around in my inbox for a few months, and I do apologize, first of all, that I haven't gotten to that question until now. However, to get on to the point, the political and economic state of Mirkwood right now is not so terrible. I will admit that we had sort of a little bit of trouble for a little while, but things have become more and more prosperous, as Erebor flourishes and as Dale also flourishes, so does our own people's wealth. We've had a lot of assistance given to both places as they rebuild their former glory, and Erebor had a lot of wealth, which they came into, and some of it was more than they should have had, and of course there have been funds redistributed a little bit more evenly now that we have someone else in charge, someone a little bit more upstanding as far as sort of their morality goes. But as a result of their needing a lot of assistance, and I'll be honest, despite having a lot of funds, they didn't necessarily have a lot of resources. And of course, one thing we do have here in Mirkwood is resources that can be used and men at the ready. So, of course, most of our help went to Dale, because of course we have had historically much longer ties there, and once we've got them sort of set up, we did continue to help Erebor, which is a little further away from us as well. But it all has been working out very well, and I don't think there's anything I need to address about it. So certainly if things are going well, all I can say is let us continue to aid our allies and watch everything get better and better. Now, I know there were some brief concerns about the use of timber from our lands being taken to Dale to help in the construction efforts. But I want to assure people that they were very carefully selected trees, and that we made sure to do our best, that they were spread out enough that there can be new growth. There was a lot of new plantings done in the forest, and of course a lot of energy, particularly on my part, and some of the other, nobility as well, to put a lot of our time and invested magical energies into regrowing those parts of the forest. It was more of a clearing out some of the old growth so that new growth can come in, and I think that's sort of how we should look at the situation altogether. We did see some destruction, but from the ashes you have fertile soil for which new things can grow. So I think all in all things are going very well for us here in Mirkwood, and I think that pretty soon people will sort of let the name Mirkwood go and we can be Greenwood once more, because of course that's really what we should be calling ourselves. I really have been trying to move away from the old stereotypes of Mirkwood. It's so dreary, so I sort of want to push for the revitalization of the name The Greenwood, and I think we'll be able to do that with how positively things have been going. So thank you, darling, for the question, and I hope for all of those citizens out there that were for some reason concerned that I've laid those to rest, and that we can sort of move on to the celebration, for things are going so well and they're going to be going even better as we continue in the future. So cheers and ta-ta.